From the majestic kingdoms of the past to the resilient spirit of the present, Nigeria's history is a tale of strength, perseverance, and triumph which has witnessed the rise and fall of great eras, each leaving a mark on the rich textiles of its heritage. But the echoes of these powerful kingdoms and great eras of the past are fast eroding from the hearts of the people. So, how do we recreate a sense of connection to our past? Who will rise to promote empathy and a sense of shared purpose among our past and future generations? Meet 30 outstanding young Nigerians from the North, West, East and South regions of the country in the Young Historian Competition, determined to connect the courage of past generations to the glorious heritage of the present and future generations. Their mission is to inspire a positive attitude to the knowledge of history and provide a link between the past and future generations. Who will emerge as Nigeria's first champion of history? The Young Historian Competition, an initiative of the Restored Heart Foundation, is aimed at promoting knowledge of history among undergraduates of Nigeria's tertiary institutions. 30 talented contestants started on the journey from the intra-regional stage, but only 12 of them have made it to the inter-regional stage. The competition has reached a new level and the stakes are higher than ever. In this stage, 2 contestants from each of the 6 regions will go head-to-head against participants from another region. The contestants who have made it to this round are truly exceptional. They are Yusuf Adamu and Kidgad Bala Simon from the Northeast, Beryl Etop Ikwere, Alex Olajide from the South-South, Rose John Toyo, and Abdul Malik Isa Abubakar from the Northwest, Faith Adeze Emeaso and Kochidima Dixon from the Southeast, Luke Daramola and Oyedeji Ibrahim from the North Central, Oluwafeyi Ajongolo and Joy Adeboye from the Southwest. Who will emerge as the ultimate champion? Only time will tell. But before then, the inter-regional stage is set to feed you with lots of excitement and drama, as a spot in the quarterfinals will be at stake. For the contestants, there's little margin for error. In this episode, the knowledge of 4 contestants from different regions of Nigeria will be put to the test. Luke Daramola, representing the North Central region, will go head-to-head against Oluwafeyi Ajongolo, representing the Southwest, while Abdulmalik Isa Abubakar, representing the Northwest, will compete against Faith Adeze Emeaso, representing the Southeast. It's a pivotal moment for these contestants as they prepare for a straightforward one-on-one battle where the victor advances straight to the quarterfinals. While the journey comes to an abrupt end for the defeated, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the contestants must put all their knowledge and skills to the test to emerge victorious.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
Preserving your history is an essential aspect of understanding your identity, roots, and trajectory in life. However, in today's fast-paced world, young generations are losing interest in history due to various factors such as globalization, technological advancements, and insufficient awareness of its significance. Recognizing this concern, the Restored Heart Foundation initiated the Young Historian Competition to encourage Nigerian university students to explore and promote the country's rich history. This competition aims to instill a sense of historical consciousness in your minds, promoting core values and leadership skills that transcend all walks of life.
Since we started this competition, we've been having serious discussions in the office regarding history. A lot of things that we did not know about when we were discussing these things, and we're getting to learn new things about ourselves and about our identity, about different cultures and all that. So the competition, one of the main objectives is to reawaken that consciousness, that interest in people. So you see, you talked about people of other nations and race telling us about our history, and this is because as a people, we've over time lost interest in history. So we now have individuals or people of other countries or races telling us our own history. So it would be quite interesting to see a change in dynamics. And I think so far the competition has, so to a large extent increased that engagement in terms of, so you see people talking about different topics, talking about culture, talking about, in fact, most recently I was in University of Abuja, so where we went, my team and I, we went on a visitation to make some research about history, and how we can also recruit some judges to work with us. And fascinating, I was able to learn a few things within the short time we spent together in the University of Abuja, in the professor's office. I learned a lot about the fact that there have been people in Nigeria for millions of years. Interesting. So to me, I was like, okay, so that's really interesting getting to know that we've had people in Nigeria for over 1 million years prior to this time around. Like, that's quite interesting, and that's something a lot of us don't know about. And I think the main objective of this competition is to create that interest, that spark, where people want to be curious enough to get to research. Okay, my tribe, for example, let's say you're from Efik, or you're from Ogoni or any other tribe, most persons don't know how their tribe came about, because those tribes were not actually, they were not moved suddenly from one place. Yeah. So there's a story, there's an origin, basically. That's something most persons don't know about. And it's quite interesting to, it would be really nice to see young people pick up interest and get to understand where they are coming from. Because at the end of the day, that would transcend into patriotism, which will bring about improved economic and also reduce the current syndrome, which you call the Japa syndrome. Exactly. So hopefully we have more persons willing to stay back in the country to contribute their knowledge in the country and their skills to the country. And I think one of the problems for the Japa syndrome is because most persons are unable to find a connection, a purpose why they should stay back in the country. Yeah. They don't see a reason why they should stay back in the country. So it's important that we have a program like this, a competition like this, the Young Historian Competition. So yes.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
Are you ready for the ultimate battle of wits? It's time for the first set of contestants in the inter-regional stage to show what they are made of. Luke Daramola represents the North Central region, while Oluwafeyi Ajongolo represents the Southwest region. The stakes are high, and the winner of this challenge will secure a spot in the quarterfinals and move one step closer to becoming Africa's keeper of history. Both of these contestants know what's at stake. So, let's get ready to rumble and see who comes out on top.
I'm going to read the ground rules now. Number 1, your mic must be muted until you are asked to talk, right? This stage you have 12 questions and you have 90 seconds. Your camera must be on, turned through the time you are answering the question. No sound is expected to come from your background. Okay, so we're starting with Luke. Luke, we're starting with your question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. You have
all right, sir.
90 seconds to answer 12 questions, right? Which African country was the first to get independence from Portuguese colonial rule?
Angola.
Who was the Egyptian pharaoh known for his peace treaty with the Hittites, ending the Egyptian-Hittite war?
Skip.
Which African kingdom emerged because of the decline of Ghana Empire and became a center of trade and learning?
Mali Empire.
Who was the Nigerian author and political activist known for his work Things Fall Apart, which explored the impact of British colonialism?
Chinua Achebe.
Which African country was formerly known as Belgian Congo before gaining independence in 1960?
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
Look at the screen, who was the African explorer who traveled to West Africa in the 18th century and wrote extensively about his experiences?
Skip.
Which African country was the first to get independence from British colonial rule in West Africa?
Ghana.
Who was the African nationalist leader and founder of Zimbabwe who led the country to independence?
Robert Mugabe.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. And we move to Oluwafemi. Oluwafemi, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Alright, so we'll go straight to your questions now. Which North African city was an important Roman trading port and it's famous for its well-preserved Roman ruins?
Cairo. Alexandria.
Which African country was formerly known as Northern Rhodesia before gaining independence in 1964?
Zimbabwe.
Which African country was the first to gain independence from Spanish colonial rule?
Mozambique.
Who was African nationalist and anti-apartheid activist that became the first president of an independent Zimbabwe?
Nelson Mandela. Oh, sorry. Robert Mugabe.
Which African river is known for its spectacular waterfalls and gorges, including Victoria Falls?
River Nile.
Which African country was formerly known as Portuguese Guinea before gaining independence in 1974?
Guinea-Bissau.
In the 19th century, which African kingdom resisted French colonization and became known for its powerful female warriors?
Skip.
Thank you so much. Your time is up, Oluwafemi.
The North Central region has produced its first quarterfinalist, Luke Daramola, winning by a margin of 4 points to 1.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
Let's take a fascinating journey through the rich history of Nigeria. Did you know that the earliest inhabitants of Nigeria date back to at least 13,000 BC? And that's just the beginning. From the Nok culture that began around 1500 BC to the Kingdom of Nri, the Benin Empire and the Oyo Empire, numerous ancient African civilizations have settled in the region that we now call Nigeria. Want to know more? Well, here's a fun fact. Islam reached Nigeria through the Borno Empire in 1068 AD, while Christianity came to Nigeria in the 15th century through Augustinian and Capuchin monks from Portugal to the Kingdom of Warri. The Songhai Empire also occupied part of the region, making it an even more diverse and fascinating place. As contact with Europeans increased, early harbour towns such as Calabar, Badagry, and Bonny emerged along the coast after 1480, doing business in the transatlantic slave trade, among other things. And despite conflicts in the hinterland, such as the civil war in the Oyo Empire, newly enslaved people were constantly being supplied. Isn't it amazing how much history lies within the borders of Nigeria?
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
Abdul Malik Isa Abubakar, representing the Northwest, is facing off against Faith Adeze Emeaso from the Southeast. Both contestants delivered an impressive performance in the previous round and are now striving to advance to the next stage.
We are starting with Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Which African country was the first to gain independence from British colonial rule in Southern Africa? What was the significance of the Battle of Islawana in 1879 during the Anglo-Zulu War?
It grants the indigenous to have the participation in self-government.
Which African country was the first to gain independence from British colonial rule in East Africa?
Kenya.
Who was the African nationalist leader who led Algeria to gain independence from France? Which African country was formerly known as Southern Rhodesia before gaining independence in 1980?
Zimbabwe.
Which African kingdom was known for its wealthy and influential rulers such as Mansa Musa?
Mali.
Who was Nigeria's first president? Your time is up. Thank you so much, Abdul Malik. So, Faith, we are moving over to you now. Who was Nigeria's first president? After getting independence?
Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Who was the Nigerian leader who initiated the Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Policy after the Civil War?
Ibrahim Babangida.
Which Nigerian president initiated the National Economic Empowerment and Development NEEDS in 2003?
Olusegun Obasanjo. President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Who was the first female governor of a Nigerian state?
Skip.
Who was the Nigerian president who was in military coup in 1993, leading to the rise of General Sani Abacha?
Muhammadu Buhari.
What was the name of the document outlining the demands of the Ogoni people in the Niger Delta region in the 1990s?
Skip.
Which Nigerian leader declared the Third Republic in 1993, which was later annulled?
Sani Abacha.
Thank you so much, Faith. The time is up.
The fierce showdown between Abdul Malik Abubakar and Faith Imeaso sees the contestant from the Northwest emerging victorious by a narrow margin of 3 points to 2. The result of the nervy encounter means Faith has come to the end of her journey, while Abdul Malik continues in his quest to become Africa's keeper of history.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
Prepare yourself for the showdown in the next episode, where Oyedeji Ibrahim from the North Central is going up against Joy Adeboye from the Southwest. And Rose John Toyo from the Northwest is up against Kochidima Dixon from the Southeast. Each of these contestants is gunning for a place in the quarterfinals of the Young Historian Competition, and a step closer to the 500,000 naira in academic scholarship is up for grabs, alongside other mouth-watering benefits. So don't miss out on this thrilling battle of knowledge of history. The Young Historian Competition is a preserver of history. The competition is brought to you by the Restored Heart Foundation in partnership with Fulton Marine Services Limited, Hills Carries Gas Limited, DigiPiper and Carrier Paddy.